Welcome everyone. This is another episode of EMP, aka Eligible Monster. I am one of your hosts, Nat, and this is Dan and Ben.
Hello!
Over here.
I told her I had to look up an
emails.
email, but she wants to do this.
Well, we have to, dude.
I know.
Time crunch here, all right? Okay. All right, guys. Special episode today. Blizzcon just happened, as it happens every year. I mean, but it's still exciting, regardless. For some of us, anyway.
Sometimes.
For some of us.
Some portions of it.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to do a recap today for you guys and also talk about Diablo more because I know some of us have hard feelings about Diablo.
Diablo's the greatest thing to ever happen to Diablo!
So we're going to leave Diablo for last, essentially. All right? I'm sorry in advance. Jesus Christ, man.
Why? Why, Dad?
You have gone insane.
You want to play Path of Exile? They didn't abandon us.
This is why I said we're going to cover this at the very end, all right?
Okay.
I'm not sure you guys have not actually watched this live, right?
I did not
No.
watch it live. I think
Because
you did.
there were
I
a
did not.
lot of issues. A lot of issues.
I heard, yes, that there was some technical issues
absolutely.
that were not caused
It
by
was hilarious.
Sombra this time.
I will actually cover this when we get to it.
Okay, you got all the notes pulled up for the BlizzCon, so.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
I'm just letting you know.
looking at it right
They're
now.
right there.
Thank
You
you.
have the notes.
Thank you. I'm right in front of it, so you don't have to tell
The
me.
notes are right there.
All right. First announcement, which I think Dan will appreciate.
Stop.
Jesus Christ, Ben. Will you
Do
just
you
leave?
need to leave?
Just leave. We'll call you back for Diablo. God damn it.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. World of Warcraft Classic has been announced finally. It is coming out summer 2019, and it is free to anyone with a live subscription.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, Dan?
My opinion on that.
I just want to give my theory crafting for it. I have an idea what's going to happen.
Okay,
Oh my
you're
God.
probably going to say what I was about to say.
We'll just find out. If so, then I'll agree that you had it already ahead of me, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Here's what I think is going to happen with World of Warcraft. Everyone's complaining they want World of Warcraft Classic. They want World of Warcraft Classic, right?
It's pretty much the
Anytime
exact
a game
same,
comes out with a classic kind of
it's the
grind,
same thing as Final Fantasy XI. We've been trying to petition this for years, and there's like 500 people on board, and then the rest is like, we don't have time for this shit.
well, and that's what I'm saying. I think World of Warcraft Classic everyone wants, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But whenever a game comes out nowadays and has any kind of a grind in it, it gets nothing but backlash and complaints about it,
Yeah.
which makes me think here's exactly what's going to happen. World of Warcraft Classic is going to drop. In the first month, they're going to announce 5 to 6 million of their players have converted over to World of Warcraft Classic.
Yeah.
Within 3 to 6 months, it will have a player base of less than 500,000, in my opinion. Of the people who truly have the time, truly want to do it,
Yep.
and are going to actually play it long term, because everyone's going to show up, and they've said how they're going to do it. They haven't said what systems are being implemented, but if they do true classic World of Warcraft, even if they upgrade the graphics, they're like, we're going to stage out the content. Meaning, we're going to have 2 40-man raids at launch, and you're going to spend a month getting to camp. You're going to do it, do your 40-man raid, and then you're
Yeah.
going to complain because there's not enough drops.
and you could just
there's not
go
enough loot.
back to the actual version of what everyone's on. Yeah.
Exactly.
I know.
And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I mean, I'm one of those people that played
Dan
World
is
of
like
Warcraft
itching to
Classic.
say something right now, I feel like.
Because he's saying everything that I was about to
Oh,
say, even though this
no.
was supposed to be mine.
Fine,
Whatever.
listen.
Go ahead.
So for the first two, no, I think that's everyone looks at WoW Classic through nostalgia vision.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on.
And
People
do
will go
not
back.
Ever
They will remember what's
underestimate
going
the
on.
power of nostalgia too.
Exactly,
Like, people
because you
will go
don't
back.
like people are forgetting the fact of rogues having poison that had a certain charges on it, so you had to do it reapply in the middle of fights. You're
Crafting
forgetting
ammo.
that hunters needed ammo pouches to increase their speed. You're forgetting about the fact that during those original 40-man raids, shamans were only available on Horde, paladins were only available on Alliance, but both gear were able to drop for the other faction, meaning you would get gear that literally
can't
no one
use.
could use.
That's so stupid.
Oh yeah. And sometimes it would happen
Well, I
like
mean-
3 of the 5 drops would be like shaman, and you would be in Alliance Guild and you'd be like, well, crap.
Yeah.
The issue I see happening is if they give us Classic, people are going to quickly realize what's going on, and they're going to quickly not want to play it anymore. If they make adjustments to make Classic make sense, you're not playing Classic anymore.
Yes.
No, exactly.
If you increase drop rates,
Yeah.
if you give Shaman to both sides, if you give Paladin to both sides, you're not playing Classic anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen, and people are going to drop off quickly, and because they also forget, like you said, A lot of people don't remember. It took a very, very long time to get to max level on the original servers.
Yep.
It took a very long time to get your mounts. You got your first mount at level 40, which now it's level 20 and it costs like 1 gold, which is nothing.
Yeah.
But back then you had to get it at level 40 and it cost so much money that the majority of people would not be able to get that money until they were like level 50. Getting your epic mount at level 60 was pretty much impossible, to the point that if you saw someone using that mount, you would be like, holy crap, like, good for you. You've really farmed this out.
You would actually stand in town for people to see you,
Yes.
and you'd be like, oh, this guy actually accomplished something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like the winter spring
That's what I miss about
saver.
MMO.
I know, I missed out about 11, dude. Like, just standing in town, like, all night in your, like, salvage gear. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's...
Well, that's my biggest complaint about current.
But we don't have time for this.
Well, it's my biggest complaint about 14. A lot of our friends are like, why aren't you guys rating? Why aren't you
Yeah.
doing higher tier?
Yeah.
I'm like, for what? Like, there's nowhere to even
Everything's
brag and
just-
show it
yeah.
off, and it's gone in 3 months.
Yeah.
And
3
even
months.
like on that regard, back in Classic, content didn't come out that frequently.
No.
And if they
Because they
plan on
didn't have the
doing
billion person.
didn't.
exactly, and if they do it at a certain rate, they're going to outpace Classic
Yes.
pretty quickly.
They
Which
can't-
I
yeah.
mean, personally, I'm not opposed to that because Burning Crusade was my favorite expansion, so I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest with that. But a lot of people are forgetting what was there during Classic, and a lot of people are forgetting some of those hassles. And I mean, what they could do is potentially, there are small changes that they could make, like using, because throughout the patches they did fix some things, and I could see them potentially going, okay, these problems that we fixed towards the end of vanilla WoW, as we call it, they put those early on. That won't be game breaking. That will be something that allows people to go, okay, this is a quality of life improvement
Yeah.
to allow for this to be okay. But there are certain ones, like the quality of life improvement of hunters don't need ammo. That's something that
That changes the game.
it changes a lot of things, because back in Classic, you had to actually craft ammo to the point that you had to go for specific ammo to be top tier. And it cost a lot of money to craft those
That
to
was
get
part of the
that
reason I
specific
left Vanilla
ammo.
WoW and went back to 11. I wasn't a fan of the graphics, but I did play it. And it was because I didn't want to craft all that ammo anymore. I got tired of it. I was like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
WoW
And
was
that's why I
the
never
very-
played Ranger in Final Fantasy 11.
WoW was the very first MMO I went to, and the graphics turned me off of it. So I went to 11 because of that. But I mean,
It
they
is
were
a
pretty
very
much on par
unique
as far
graphic
as-
style.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, the people that are a fan of Warcraft will automatically go to WoW because it's the same graphics.
Exactly.
So obviously, but yeah, Final Fantasy. I mean, they're pretty much on par. So I can understand the you know, the good side, the plus side of going back to a classic, but at the same time, who has time anymore?
Yeah, that as well, because a
Who
lot
has
of
time?
people that grew up with Classic are now old enough
Yes.
that they don't have time for it.
They don't.
Yep.
Like that.
don't.
I mean, I loved Classic. I loved Burning Crusade. If they came out with it right now, I would probably have maybe half the amount of time as I would have back then.
Yeah.
Even back then, I actually never hit the level 60 cap during Vanilla WoW. The highest I got was level like 55 on my Hunter. And that's because it took so long to get there. If you compared leveling back then to leveling right now in World of Warcraft,
Yeah, let me
leveling
ask you this.
1
How-
to 20 back then probably took more time than it takes to get to level, like, I would honestly say 1 to 40 up to 1 to 60, depending on what kind of gear you've got in
Right.
your current game. If you have all your bound to account heirloom gear that gives extra experience,
Okay.
you could probably get from level 1 to 60 in the same amount of time it used to take get to 1 to level 20 to 25, because it took so long and the quests did not give as much XP.
Okay, so you had to rely on quests in order to level up, not just grind enemies mindlessly.
there
right?
wasn't
Both. It was both, because
both.
There wasn't,
sometimes
there
you
wasn't
would-
queuing in dungeons either.
No, the dungeons, you had to use the dungeon chat, to which you had to get the certain people to get in a group. Then you had to actually run to the dungeon,
Mm-hmm.
which back then the only summoning at the start was warlocks, to which you had to have a warlock in your group as well as
Dude,
two
that's-
other people to summon them.
that sounds like
then
White
they
Mage
went
teleport and stuff.
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
did. There's a lot of things that people are forgetting, and a
yeah,
lot
it
of
might
those
be
things,
fun,
if
yeah.
you remove them, it isn't vanilla WoW.
I guarantee you, some people are going to be super excited to get in there and be like, "Oh, we forgot that was a thing back then," and then
No,
just
that's
quit
exactly what I think
entirely.
is gonna
Because you
Yeah.
only remember the
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yes.
You only remember how you felt back then
Yeah.
when you played it. You don't remember the number of things that, as the game progressed, you're like, wow, this quality of life improvement is awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being able to get into a dungeon finder, then actually
Oh
get
my God, that was so
teleported
much-
to the dungeon. Because half the time you would find a group for a dungeon.
Yeah.
And your group would disband because you would have that one person who's going, no, wait, I gotta go do this before I get to the dungeon. You don't have a mount because you don't get it till
Dude.
level 40, so it takes forever to get to the
Yeah.
dungeon.
Yeah.
We had a similar thing at
It sounds
11.
similar, yeah.
We would, because you go to XP parties and it'd be like, okay, well, it's a 45-minute walk. Let's form up the party. And the best, because like a dungeon, at least if you go to the dungeon, you knew the ending, you had to go to the dungeon, right? And the XP parties, you'd get out there for 45 minutes, 15 minutes in XP. All right, guys, I gotta go. My mom's home. Like,
Yeah.
Why did you come out here?
But most of the player base in 11 was smart enough to actually message a replacement. So, they would just wait for the replacement to show up, then take the spot and then be like, all right, I have to go. I got your replacement, all right?
Yeah.
Don't be upset.
It was the polite thing to do.
Yes,
Yeah.
but some people would not.
The
They'd be
big,
like,
thing,
well,
the big thing I have a problem with that is Project 60. That is a fad that died off very quickly. When they announced WoW Classic, Project 60 started, and it was people trying to get to level 60 as old school as they could. And most players, from what I understand, I didn't do a ton of research, but from what I understand, dropped off because it was just a pain in the butt.
Yes. And that was like when you still had the upgraded experience rate. Because
Yeah.
when Burning Crusade dropped, the experience rate was increased for level 1 to 60 because obviously they wanted newcomers to be able to try out the new content. And I mean, there's a very, very small amount of people that will continuously play this because while Project 60 was a thing on the main servers, there was a private server. I can't remember the name of it, but it was classic WoW. People who wanted to play it played on that, and I believe Blizzard they shut them down.
Yeah, that's what started
But
this whole thing.
I'm pretty sure they hired on some of the moderators and the programmers that were doing that because they were like, you have the experience of doing it with that content.
We want you to make us money.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did. They went, we want you to work for us to do this. Then
I'm
took
sure
them,
they were more than happy to
like
do
a
it
year and a
too.
half, 2
Yeah.
years to actually come out with WoW Classic.
impressive.
Or sorry, to announce WoW Classic,
Yeah.
and you still got another year to wait for it.
Yeah.
That I think the interest is going to die off, and I
Yeah.
think because there's also a lot of people who are looking at it as the nostalgia of vanilla WoW. Not everyone played during vanilla WoW.
Yeah.
How long until we go, okay, well, all the Burning Crusade people are going to want their own Burning Crusade
Yeah.
server.
Well, they
all
said-
the Wrath of the Lich King are going to want their
They're
own.
going to keep doing the updates. They're gonna keep
Exactly,
going.
but then you're going to get
Where
those
did it
people
stop
who
at,
wanted
though?
just vanilla WoW,
Yeah.
and then they drop off because it's now in Burning Crusade, and they're like, well, that wasn't my favorite expansion. And
Yeah.
they are going to just rotate through, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be a stable player base. And
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the biggest concern with it and the biggest downside
yeah, do they
to it.
stop at the end of vanilla WoW, or do they, and then they go into a Burning
And at
Crusade
what
server?
point do they go, okay, well, this isn't doing well. Are we going to shut it down? Are we going to reduce the staff on it so that the bugs stay there that people are going to have to deal with?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, at what point are they going to go, okay, this wasn't as beneficial as we thought?
Yeah. See, this is
That's the
why
reason
I
why they
wanted
never
your,
tackled it before.
Yeah.
This is why I wanted your opinion, because you're a diehard WoW
Yes.
fan and you've been there since day one.
Yeah.
So I wanted your take on that.
Can I ask one quick question?
What's that?
When
No.
did we get these lights?
Last
Ben,
time.
all right, you know what?
You
so-
even made comments on them
No,
last time.
we had the foam. We had the foil
No,
ones.
you definitely made a comment because you were like, wow, the lights are a lot brighter.
Yeah, that was the foil ones.
No,
This is why I avoid.
Not these lights.
these were
I
put up
avoid
behind those foil
looking
ones.
at their
Were they
direction.
behind the foil ones?
Jesus Christ.
I don't even know what happens in my own studio anymore.
All
What's
right.
next topic?
they've announced a new charity pet for WoW as well. I'm not done with WoW because you guys.
Well,
talked
that's
about this.
normal. They do that
Yeah.
every year.
But you don't want to just show it because it's cute.
Yeah, I wanna see it.
It's Womper. You've seen it. It's like a Yeti, little Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it'll be
Sometimes they're
it'll be
good,
shown up on the
sometimes they're
screen.
not, but I love that they do actually do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they actually give
I've
the
bought
money
some
to
of them.
charity.
I like
yeah.
the
I
purple
usually
cat.
get
The
them.
purple cat was my last one I bought.
Yeah. I usually
they've-
get them because it's like I'm getting something in a game I enjoy to
Yeah.
play,
And
but I'm
it
giving
goes
to
for a good
charity.
cause too. Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not just me going,
Absolutely.
yes.
I've done that. You should say,
microtransactions.
why'd you buy
All of
such
my,
and such?
dude,
Normally,
all of my plushies for charity are displayed in my desk. So.
Yeah.
I buy the Call of Duty endowment even when I'm not playing it that year.
Nice. They've showed a new WoW cinematic as well. I don't know if you've watched it.
That one I
If
keep
there's one thing they
forgetting
can
to
do
watch.
well, Blizzard can
Cinematics?
do well,
Yeah.
it's cinematics, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I watched the
Insane.
Heroes of the Storm one and the ones for Overwatch, but something came up that distracted me from watching the WoW one, and then until you mentioned it just now, I completely forgot about it.
Speaking of Heroes of the Storm, that is our next topic.
Yes,
okay?
I'm excited to talk about this.
They've announced Orphea. That is how you pronounce it, right?
Yep.
Orphea, yes.
She's the first unique character.
Yes, the first
Yes.
character born in the Nexus. Yes. And
So-
she fights for the Nexus.
I've spoken with Blizzard recently because
Yes.
they started a Heroes of the Storm comic book. We play Heroes of the Storm,
Yes.
so we are in talks to cover.
Should I say the same thing that you were going to say like you did with WoW?
Go for it?
No, you go ahead.
Because you know what I'm going to say.
I actually do.
What am I going to say?
You're going to talk about the fact that Heroes of the Storm never really had its own personality
Yes.
because it came from all the other characters, and everyone, when you point to a Heroes of the Storm character, you go World of Warcraft, Overwatch. You don't go Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, like one of my favorites in Heroes of the Storm is Diva.
Yeah.
But no one goes, that's the Heroes of the Storm version. That's all.
This
So
is the very first one, yes.
I actually think this is a super intelligent idea of theirs.
It really is.
It's
she
fun.
looks like Diva's little sister, to be
adorable.
completely honest with you.
She looks awesome.
Yeah.
But I like this because I do like Heroes of the Storm. I only play it 100% casually. I normally get on. For a while, I would just do the dailies, knock those out.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I'll get on with my buddy Sean, and we'll just go through and play it.
Sean-
Dan and I have done it here off and on. We do enjoy the game, but I 100%. They have had no personality, and I think this is a good direction to go in.
Absolutely.
Start introducing your own. I would like to, and I know they won't, but I would like to see them come out with their own every other month because we get a new character every month.
I don't think they will do it that frequently, but I think based on the reception this new character has had,
Yeah.
I think they're aiming to do it because it also does add personality, plus they have so much freedom with what they can do.
Yeah.
And they can also tie it into other lore because I believe this character is related to Diablo. Is it Diablo
They've
or
shown
World
a
of
couple
Warcraft?
I think
Ravenlord. Believe
So,
Ravenlord.
wow.
It
No,
was
No.
Medivh?
no, I
Medivh
believe
was shown,
Ravenlord.
was shown,
And I might
right?
be because I don't know my lore about WoW
No,
that
it
well.
wasn't.
If anyone, it would be WoW. But I
That's-
believe the Ravenlord is their only other character they've ever made. So they've
I
related
know
her
they.
to him.
I know they. It may have been related to WoW, but I know they did mention Diablo as well because they mentioned Deckard Cain.
Right.
Well,
I
It's-
remember
the-
there was some sort of connection there.
The characters still need to be interwoven into the whole Nexus.
Exactly.
but-
And I think that was a really good way for them to do it because they grab the people that like that existing lore, but then they create their own character that gives Heroes of the Storm
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah.
And after watching the way that the character works, they made it interesting. They
Yeah.
made it look fun to play. They
Yeah.
made it look
It made
like
me download
something-
Heroes of the Storm again.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't played it in like 8 months, I think. I was counting. I got on it yesterday, and I was counting the heroes that I missed because I had them all.
The last hero I've played was Lucio, I think. It was that long.
You've been a while. You've been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a while, yeah. Have you guys seen the Janitor Leoric skin announced too?
I didn't see it,
You didn't
but that
see it?
sounds awesome.
Hang on. Right here, this is it right here.
That is awesome.
Oh, I
He's
have seen
actually got a soap, like a soap bar that he just rides onto. It's a
They really Heroes of the Storm does skins really well.
Yeah, a lot of them. I hate it because a lot of times their skins are awesome.
Yeah.
And you're
And
like,
then it's
why
not
isn't
in
it in
other games.
Overwatch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, next up, guys. Warcraft 3 Reforged.
I'm kind of excited, but I say that, but I bought StarCraft Remastered and never played it.
It's WoW Classic. It's
Yeah.
the same thing of
People were
you
really
remember
excited,
it great, you're
Yeah.
going to go back and start playing it, and you're going to be like, oh, right,
No,
that's how
I
it...
didn't-
I think Warcraft 3 is going to be a different boat because it's not an existing thing currently. Like, StarCraft is the current real-time strategy game, and it's a completely different theme than Warcraft. WoW Classic is... WoW already exists and is still currently going, this is a different version.
Yeah.
I think Warcraft 3 is going to be good because it's going to get the people that wanted that real-time strategy, that love Warcraft and Warcraft lore, and they're going to be like, this is what I have been wanting to play because
Yeah.
I don't like StarCraft lore.
Yep.
Not even
Speaking of-
StarCraft. StarCraft plays differently than Warcraft.
They do. They're
did they
similar,
upgrade the
but
graphics? That's my only question. I didn't see that.
from what I
on
saw,
Warcraft?
it's not like overly updated, but it's cleaned.
Okay.
It's a classic remaster of like, instead of it
Yes,
being as like
updated.
blocky and stuff, it's smoother, but it's still like the same kind of models.
Updated models, textures, and animations.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
Speaking of StarCraft 2, they've also announced a new co-op Commander Zero tool for
I enjoy the co-op
StarCraft
commander
2.
modes.
Yeah.
I have two of them way
fun.
into, I guess what they would call their Paragon points. When you go past it and you just drop in extra points.
Yeah.
I got two characters in that area, and that's when I stopped playing. It was one of those deals of like, you're not giving me maps fast enough. Why can't I use custom maps with this?
yeah, I never did the co-op missions. So
No, they were pretty fun actually.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
fun.
them. Okay, so this is where they're kind of it kind of just derailed a little bit because they were switching over to Hearthstone.
Oh, yeah.
And the audio was completely muted for like a good minute and a half.
Nice!
It was just we could hear nothing. And they kind of just gave up after 2 minutes and just switched over to Overwatch. So then they did like the whole Overwatch presentation and then it went back to Hearthstone. They had to actually poach the guy that was doing the Hearthstone announcements to go over to the main stage to do his presentation there. Because I don't know what happened. It was just, the sound just, the actual
God,
set
it's
was
funny.
just not working.
Well, Overwatch only announced a new hero, didn't they?
It was no,
New
it was
hero,
like
new
it was big,
cinematic.
dude. It was honestly, in my opinion,
I
it
thought
was
it was-
probably the biggest announcements
Ash?
because
It's-
yeah,
I saw the cinematic. I
It
thought
was
that
like,
was fun.
yeah, the
Because-
cinematic of McCree and
Yeah.
Ash, which
It
introduced
adds a lot to
Ash
lore.
and Bob. Bob
Ash and Bob. Bob is the biggest meme in existence.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Bob is love and Bob is life.
But we
Yes.
also got Echo as well.
Yes,
Echo.
Lore-wise,
So everyone was
her
like-
coming back was like, huh?
Yeah, like
Everyone was like Cortana.
that's. It looked like Cortana and Mercy merged together.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. So yes. So speaking of Overwatch, I mean, Hearthstone had like an expansion. Do you guys even care?
Not really.
Hearthstone? Well, did it add anything? Or is it just more
Rastikin's
cards?
Rumble is the next expansion.
It's just more cards, right? They're not doing anything
like
special.
it will feature 135 cards. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped off Hearthstone like a year ago, only because I got tired of getting into every expansion, enjoying the hell out of it. You did it too.
It's
For
great
two-
when
Huh?
you're stuck at the airport.
Well, no, it was great because Dan and I will
It
get
is.
into it, and what we like about it is like theory crafting and creating
Oh
decks
yeah.
and having fun.
Yeah, but once
and
you
get
get that deck, then you set, right?
Well, no, not that. We would find decks we like, but then the meta would decide what the current
Yeah.
deck is, and that's the only thing that exists
Yeah.
in the competitive mode.
Yeah.
And
I see.
it was good enough. It was so good that you didn't have an option to
Yeah.
make your own. Really,
Right.
like that was the thing that I didn't like. I liked when they brought out like Kobolds and Catacombs, when they start coming out with like PvE content that actually
Yes, that
is
was
fun.
fun.
Like
Yeah,
I
I missed
really
the
enjoyed-
story
Content
stuff
I've
they
done,
did.
actually.
I missed.
Yes.
I liked the story stuff they did. I enjoyed the climb up the towers and discussing like that. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. Then they got rid of that. And I'm like, well,
Yep.
now I don't really care anymore. Back in the Overwatch thing, real quick, though, I do want to ask you guys a question about this.
I wasn't done with Overwatch, man.
Oh, okay. We
Yeah.
went over to Hearthstone.
No, I was just saying that because I didn't want to skip it and then never come back to it. So I wanted
Okay.
to be like, hey guys, by the way, there's a new expansion coming out. Yeah, but yeah, so they announced Ash, which is a damage dealer with a rifle and dynamite
Looks
explosives.
So
She's
fun.
like a cross between Junkrat, Reaper, and Widowmaker, and I like it. I like the way she looks.
Yeah.
Because she can shoot the ground and bounce and do what Junkrat's, what I do all the time with
I would-
Junkrat.
Yeah, a little bit of Farah too.
Yeah.
With like the knockback aspect.
But her,
She's
I mean,
Caitlyn from. She's very similar to Caitlyn from League of Legends.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. When they started doing her, I was like, because Caitlyn has an ability that she can net someone and it launches her backwards. She's known as the
very
marksman.
similar, dude.
Like it was very, very similar. It's when like the differences were she has a trap, whereas she has a bomb. Ash has a bomb.
Right.
And but when they came out, it was like even if you look at them. There are some good comparisons, but Ash looks fun. Ash looks like a character that I will really, really enjoy.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that announcement, I was like, they're gonna make me go back, aren't they?
Yeah.
Damn
Cool.
it.
I'll learn how to play Bridget finally.
And I think
Brigitte.
Brigitte.
No, literally, three
Jeff said
pronunciations
that. No,
on the
listen,
set.
Jeff
Yeah,
came out
but
and said that, Brigitte.
Brigitte.
And I was like, why, Jeff?
Jeff
Why?
Kaplan is the Lord and Savior for Overwatch, Benny.
He's wrong.
It's Brigitte,
Get
okay?
outta here.
It's Brigitte.
It's Brigitte.
Brigitte.
It's Brigitte Prayer Prime.
You don't.
All right.
You're
Yep.
pronouncing it. Yes, technically you're pronouncing it correctly for our language, but she is, I believe,
I don't care.
German.
I don't care.
But here's the thing, though. The best part about Ash is definitely her ultimate.
Bob.
Yes, and I think
Bob.
Bob was a great addition because they're
Bobby's
starting
gonna get
to
blamed for everything, man.
the
He's gonna get blamed for everything.
Oh yeah, but I think one of the best parts about it is they're finally making it so that they're going in the direction of hybrid champions.
Yeah.
Of champions that allow teams to go, okay, crap, we've got nothing but DPS, but luckily we do have an Ashe, so I suppose we do have that tank aspect. It's just like Brigitte, like you have the healing, but you also have the mini tank. Like you have a lot of these, you can just say whatever the hell you want, but also say documentary. Anyway.
Documentary.
Exactly.
I emphasize the wrong part. Leave me alone.
Documentary. Just don't even, just skip
docs.
over it.
It's not that hard.
Docs.
We're doing docs, Gary.
But I think it's a great addition to the game. I'm super, super excited, and I'm really glad that we're getting more addition to lore. Getting more character interaction with like McCree. I loved that they explained that map.
Yeah.
Like the reason why the train is crashed down, like the reason why all of that is there. I loved that.
I really wonder if they knew about all of this before they started, or they're just winging it.
They threw out their story early on. They've said that. That's why there's story elements that never came out because they've been changing and adapting everything since the beginning.
Okay.
There is some like that, but there's also some that have been established early on, I believe. Because I believe the McCree thing was originally, he was doing something with that, but I think they added Ashe to
technically
combine the
they've
two.
already done a McCree train robbery thing in the comics. So,
Yes.
So they basically just gave it a cinematic version of it of what happened to the train.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask though,
For
Danka just kept talking 9 times.
Man, who?
Shut up, Dan. And welcome to the weekly poll. No, wait, wrong show. Anyway, every cutscene now, every cinematic entry we've had, has been them building up for the return of Overwatch.
Yes, we're getting the band back together.
We're getting the May. May was putting the signal out. Winston getting the signal out.
Yes.
Tracer coming in with the signal.
Which, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I love when he just rides away and he's like, by the way, say hello to the monkey, and it's like, the monkey, the scientist. I love that.
Where is this going? Well, theory-wise, this has got to go somewhere now. Obviously, by bringing back Cortana.
Cortana.
Where are we going with this? Because are we actually going to what you and I have asked for since the beginning?
Yes, I really hope so. I hope so much.
An Overwatch movie announcement.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's happening.
I think it will be.
Or is it going to be like a 20-minute YouTube thing where they just
I don't think so.
I think they are going to try and make a movie once they reach a character pool that they are comfortable with.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's going campaign? They're going to come out officially.
No, it's never going to.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, for the sake of the same reason that Call of Duty is moving away from campaigns.
Yeah.
But
movie
Blizzard's
is just
also
going to
weirdly
remain.
behind.
They just want people
but they
to
have
keep coming
PvE
back.
modes that, like, they're very, very basic. I could see them going for a campaign in the form of multiple PvE modes, but I think the problem with campaigns, especially in a game that is focused on multiplayer, people will play it once, they will beat it, they won't go back.
Yep.
There really is not a main reason.
Halo Reach did a really good job of giving you reasons to go back to the campaign on a consistent
But
basis.
I feel like Halo's a unique story because
I think Overwatch has the popularity to rival.
it could.
Yeah.
I think it could, but I feel like that's not a direction that they should go. They're emphasizing too much on the Overwatch League for them to focus on PvE.
That's true.
I think this is going in the direction of the only thing I could see being similar to that would be something in game where it's like a kind of like Cataclysm in World of Warcraft, where a big event happened and it kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
That's the closest I could see to that, but even then, I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping for a movie, and in the movie, they will introduce new characters as villains, as part of Talon, and part of the like the Black Watch, and doing stuff like that. That they have a core character group, they have a core lore from these cinematics, from the characters that exist, that they will be able to make a movie, have it make sense, but also be able to sprinkle in a few things and leave some questions unanswered so that they continue to bring in new characters. Yeah. I think I shouldn't say I think. I hope that's the direction that they're going because their cinematics are so good that I would love a movie.
They really are. And also, I mean, I'm thinking because, I mean, they
They're
did
also
a
coming out more
Warcraft.
frequently recently.
They did a Warcraft movie. Why couldn't they do an Overwatch movie,
Yeah.
dude?
And I think that's what they're kind of going for with these cinematic lore-based things is I think they realized the Warcraft movie, it was good for the fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think these are starting to test out, okay, what can we do that would get non-fans to enjoy it?
Yes.
At what point can we go, these are the characters, but this is a good movie
Yeah,
that people will go to and
Overwatch
get
would
into
be
the
it.
game as
Yeah.
opposed to Warcraft
Yeah.
where it was people that enjoyed the game went, but people who didn't enjoy the game kind of just wrote it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even play it anymore, but I still enjoy watching, just looking at the shorts that they come out
Yeah.
with. I care about the characters, you know? It doesn't have to be about the gameplay only, you know? So, yes, lastly, guys, Diablo. All right, no, wait.
I think, hold on, before we move on, we should have one stream for Overwatch where we all dress as our mains, because I think it'd be hilarious to see him as Diva, me as Mercy, and you and Roadhog.
She comes out in a fat suit.
That's going to be so
You're
comfortable.
out in like this little skin-tight
Yes.
spandex, and your Doritos, and
Oh no!
Hey, guys!
You've got to have,
I
you
think
gotta
that'd be
have like a
hilarious.
giant mech too, like made of cardboard next to you, and like awfully painted too.
I'll have Gary in the mech outfit just following me.
That's fair. Okay, so Diablo, right? They kind of just started the whole presentation.
Nothing big happened.
Listen, they just started with like a big presentation, and they just gave us like an amazing cinematic trailer, right? With
Yeah.
Li Ming and all that. We were like, holy crap, it looks amazing. And then they were like, Diablo Immortal. It's a mobile game that takes place between the stories of Diablo 2 and 3. And it's going to feature 8 zones, 4 instanced dungeon, and 6 classes to start.
Okay. The problem.
I just want to say before you start, I was watching this conference in hopes for a Diablo 4. That is all I wanted, just a Diablo 4, because I really
Everyone did.
enjoyed Diablo 3. I
Yeah.
really
Oh, we all
did.
do.
I was there day one, and I would honestly, if I was not ADD, and if I cared about my Switch more, I would be playing it right now on the Switch. But I'm not.
I want to play it on the Switch. Part
I've
of
done
me
everything there
doesn't
is to
for the
do.
sake of them doing this move.
Yeah. No, in all honesty, my response to this was, well, I guess we're never getting 4. I'm going to go play Path of Exile finally.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's legit. I was watching the chat because there was like 100,000 people
Wonder how many
watching
people
this
bought
stream,
Path of
right?
Exile?
The chat.
I'm
The
curious,
chat. I didn't see a single. Well, clearly, I mean, not everyone was typing, obviously, but I didn't see a single person that was excited about this. They were
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, "What are you doing? Stop! No!"
And
see-
it's not even an original game. It's a reskinned
It's
existing
a
game.
reskin. So here's the big issue I feel right now. We're kind of obvious that we enjoy mobile games. We do.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
they're
what you
very,
said.
they
I
do
mean-
do a lot of bad microtransactions, but there are good ones like Fire Emblem Heroes, Summoner's War. We find ones we enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm not against a Diablo mobile game. I actually don't think it's a terrible idea. Here's the problem, in my opinion. One, you did it at BlizzCon as the highlight of your conference.
I don't
Yeah.
think it was
Two
a
ye-
highlight.
No, whatever the last thing is what they're hyping
Oh,
you to.
really? Is
Yeah,
it the
that's
last one?
not, it's supposed to be the big announcement. It was the
Shit.
highlight of your conference. And BlizzCon is for Blizzard fans, and Blizzard fans are PC diehards.
Yeah.
That is
Especially with Diablo.
it's a PC diehard fan base. You closed out by going, here's Diablo Mobile. Okay? Now, EA did that, and they got completely shit on.
Yes.
Bethesda did that with Elder Scrolls.
Bethesda did it right.
Bethesda did it right. Dan sent me a comic that said, okay, guys, you got to do it as an appetizer to your main game. And so Bethesda did do it. They were like, Elder Scrolls Blades.
Yep.
When they announced Elder Scrolls Blades, we were all watching it.
Everyone was like, what?
Yeah, everyone was like,
also-
no.
Yeah.
We got to play it too, and it's extremely different from Skyrim. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a
It
completely
plays really well.
different game.
Actually, I really
Yes.
enjoy it,
It's
but-
really fun. Yes.
When Blades was announced, everyone freaked out because it's like, no Elder Scrolls 6, we're getting more ports,
Yep.
more versions.
Yep.
Just give us the next freaking game. But Bethesda did it right because they went, hey, here's Blades. It'll be out this year or early next year.
Something like that.
Elder Scrolls 6 is being made.
Yep.
Here's a trailer that shows nothing.
Yeah. And everyone goes crazy.
It was enough though. As soon as
And it
you
was
saw
enough.
Elder Scrolls 6, that's all you needed. That's it.
Because the fan base is just like, oh, okay. Because here's exactly when they did that, I was like, I'll try Blades.
Yeah.
Because 6 is on its way.
Yeah.
Now, if Diablo had come out and said, here's Diablo Immortal, and it's a reskin piece of crap, apparently it's too simplified to the point where it's boring. The people that play
Where
it
did you read that?
It's put up by Kotaku.
People who tested it, I've not heard
Blizzcon.
Apparently it's
anything.
super simple, not even fun. It involves features that we've wanted in 3. It has 6-player co-op. It has things like rope battles and climbing up the side of a wall. Apparently it features PvP. It's like, these are things that should have been in Diablo 3.
They've
and
been
they didn't
holding
do
it for the mobile version, you think?
But they did it for the mobile.
I feel like this is a simple thing that they could have done that I think would have made it fine. They come out with Diablo Immortal. They say it's for PC. They make it for PC, but then they finish it with, it's also coming to mobile.
Yeah.
Because then people who actually play the PC games, they're seeing all these features, they're seeing all these things, and they go, I mean, at least it's a PC Diablo.
No,
but it would
it
be-
may not be
just
a
think that.
Diablo 4,
It would
but
be just a few things added to Diablo 3. What
Yeah.
people want is like a brand new game.
Well, here's in my opinion what they should have done. Announce some new, whatever the new seasons of Diablo, because Diablo 3 is still going.
Oh, yeah.
Announce what some of
It
the new
is.
gear is going to be, maybe a
Just
new
came out on
hero,
Switch,
something
dude.
that's super simple for them to
Yeah.
balance and throw out. Announce the Switch version, announce Immortal, and then go Diablo 4. We're probably not doing it until 2021,
Yeah.
but
That's
it's
fine.
coming.
Yeah.
Their response to it made it even worse, though. The Q&A acted like
Yeah.
they didn't even know what was
I
going on.
did not even know about that, so yeah.
The Q&A?
Yeah.
So they go to the Q&A. First thing they do is if a guy asks, is it on PC? And the response is, Android and iOS do not own a PC.
or do you not own a phone?
phone.
Do you,
Everyone
do you
owns
not own a phone? Yeah.
Which is like, okay, that's just a disrespectful answer.
Yeah.
It
Then
is.
you had a guy come up and go, is this an early April Fool's joke?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Then their response was just, no, it's a fully fleshed out Diablo, to which we've discovered it isn't. It's a reskinned other game from this company.
He got
was
that question
talking?
from 4chan, by the way.
Did he?
Yeah, I saw the post. Apparently, a guy put it in there of, I'm in line, what should I ask? And someone was like, you should ask if it's an April Fool's joke.
Nice.
Damn.
And then in the follow-up interview, in the next day, when they sat down with it was either the lead of Blizzard or the lead of at least Diablo, instead of just being like, look, okay, yeah, guys, calm down, Diablo 4 is on its way, their response was, we have many teams on many Diablo projects. There are many other projects coming. What? This was like, you're out. You could have just been like, hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna make another PC, guys. Calm down.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. But no, they've turned the entire fan base against him. He sent me an image, and we'll put it on the screen now. I'll give it to Dylan so he can put it up.
Of the test area?
There's no one playing it.
No one.
At
And
BlizzCon.
they reserved so much. You know what? I'll find it so that you can see
And
it.
you know that the Blizzard audience is very passionate
They
about
are.
their games, and it probably just pissed them off
Diablo
so
Immortal
much.
should have been mentioned as a passing note, not the highlight of the conference.
Yeah.
And it should have been more talked in depth on websites and stuff.
Yeah.
BlizzCon is not the place to announce a
There
game.
really is nobody.
There is nobody.
Are you sure it wasn't like someone that took a picture
Nope.
before?
That
the-
was
the gate
posted
opened?
midday. Because you can see that there are
Holy
some people there, but
The fact that it was made by another developer,
It is?
it's not even made by them.
Yeah.
They're giving them the assets. They're making it.
Why?
The fact that their highlight of their announcement was that they're making a phone game that their core audience is not going to care about.
Yep.
Tells you, in my opinion, that they've just lost touch with their fan base at
Yeah.
this
Mm-hmm.
point because they're
They're just trying to jump on board with everything.
there's-
With all the other companies that are doing it right, though. Like everyone is saying, like we want our games to go mobile so we can reach a bigger audience, right? That's all they wanted to do. Is just reach a bigger audience.
And,
They just didn't do it
there's
correctly.
nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with Diablo Immortal inherently. It was where they announced it, how they handled it. That was the mistake. Diablo Immortal should have been a passing note in a separate
I
conference.
agree.
It should not have been the highlight.
The highlight, yeah. I
yeah,
agree.
like early on, and then they should have finished strong with Overwatch. I feel like
Finish strong with Overwatch or finish strong with a bunch of Diablo things to kind of counter. Like, hey, here's what we're working on. A potential anime, a show, a movie. you know?
anything except what they did,
Yeah.
pretty much.
There's a
Like,
number of things that
it's-
could have gone to say, hey, we are treating Diablo with respect.
Yeah.
And they didn't. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like I said, I
it's-
play mobile games. If they had handled that right, I probably would have been excited for Immortal. Even if it's super simple and super trashy, I probably would have downloaded it day one.
Yeah.
Now I'm on a platform where I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it now. You know what? I'm going to go play Path of Exile because you guys don't have any idea what we want.
It's hilarious because that's all people were saying in the comments as well. I mean, in the chat that was flying by, just play Path of Exiles, boys.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah.
And the funny thing is about, like, they did Diablo as mobile, where I feel like StarCraft mobile, Warcraft 3 mobile,
Yeah.
potentially even Overwatch mobile
That would be.
I mean, that one would be iffy, but with the fact of like PUBG and Fortnite going mobile,
Yeah.
I could see that. But Diablo, because I mean, it's not even a unique game type going to, because like not only is it a reskinned version of a game that already exists, there are tons of games that already exist like this, and a lot of them even like promote themselves as Diablo-like.
Yeah.
Like that's what they call themselves, and it's just.
We already have a portable version too with the Switch, so why do you just want to go to mobile now?
Yeah,
That makes no
exactly.
sense.
It's.
I get wanting to branch out, but it should not have been a reskin Diablo. It should not have been another entry between 2 and 3.
It should not have been a main game.
No, and it should not have been the highlight of BlizzCon. It should have just
Yeah.
been a passing note.
Yeah.
That is
Like, they didn't
how-
even announce a counter. It wasn't like StarCraft 3.
No.
Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
It was World of Warcraft Classic. Because they didn't even announce the new expansion, did they?
They announced patches.
Yeah, a couple of patches.
Yeah, so
for
there-
Battle for Azeroth.
The big
which is
announcement.
fair because, I
They
mean.
announced two.
It was last year.
BFA, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, so for the big announcement for one of the biggest PC gamer conferences.
And it's a hardcore audience, too.
Yeah.
It is. So you've said that there
It's-
were there were people booing in the audience.
Oh, you can
as
hear
they
them.
announced
Oh,
it?
yeah.
At the
'Cause we
Q&A,
couldn't
you can hear them boo.
We couldn't hear anything.
At the Q&A, you can hear them boo when they say that don't you have phones, I think. Is that was the one that
yeah.
they booed it? Outright booed. It was loud enough, too, that you could hear it. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then no one's playing it because that's not your audience.
Yeah.
That would be like me going, hey, comic historian fans, we're never doing a comic book again. Instead, we're going to do nothing but 24/7 video game Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that niche audience, right?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, sure, you're right. I have a hardcore comic historian fan.
Yeah.
I doubt they're going to be on board with Benny's new Let's Play series.
Yeah. Like, sure, we were on board with that, but if you keep doing what you do best, which is comics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do what we like, and then we'll let you have fun.
Yeah.
Diablo should have been, hey, you want to give us a mobile game? Cool. At least tell me 4 exists.
Yeah.
Definitively announce it, because they've hinted at it, they've implied it, but they've never definitively stated Diablo 4 is going to be a thing.
You know, I've actually never heard them hint or anything like that because I remember it was when, I think it was when the Necromancer dropped.
Yes.
That
So, wait,
someone
like,
at D3.
3 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yeah, when it came out, I could be wrong,
We were-
but I
we were at
recall
the
someone
conference.
saying
Yeah.
that they had no plans for a Diablo 4 and that everything Diablo related was going to be building off of Diablo 3. That I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like I read that somewhere.
It was like in the
and-
last year, they had said in passing that there's Diablo sequels in the works. A lot of the rumors for Diablo came out of recently, a lot of job hires.
Yeah.
And that's where it came out of, because they had said that we're not doing anything beyond Diablo 3 at this point. But then there was a bunch of job hires for Diablo, and the 20th year for Diablo came out, and everyone kind of like, a lot of rumor mills started, and they were building towards things. And a lot of it was going towards Diablo 4 was going to be a thing, and it was going to be an MMO.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were hiring for, which is now apparently the phone.
Yeah. Which is a pre-sequel.
Yeah. I think we should wrap this up, though,
Yeah.
because you got to go play your game.
Yep. Wait, it's 4:30. We're fine. Yeah, that's it. Anything else you'd like to add, or just?
I'm going to play the shit out of Ash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Honestly, I mean, yeah, it's definitely one of the best highlights of that conference for sure. So guys, let us know what your highlight was, if there is any. I hope there was. Otherwise, well.
Ash!
Yeah, probably,
And
right?
Ophelia? Is that her name? The Heroes of the Storm girl?
I don't know. I know Ash.
It's like
Ash
oh
and
girl.
Bob.
Oh, what?
Oh girl.
Oh, the in Heroes?
Yeah. Ophelia,
Orphea, I think it is.
wasn't it? Okay.
Something like that, yeah. Orphea,
Can't-
yes.
You can't beat Bob, though. Bob.
Oh, yeah,
Ash and Bob.
Bob was definitely the highlight.
Hold on. Before we close out,
that?
apparently I'm going to click this to see. Apparently it just got reported today, a couple hours ago.
Yes.
When Blizzard's sole Diablo announcement this year at BlizzCon turned out to be a game for phones, it set off a firestorm of angry reactions from fans who hoped for a new Diablo on PC. It turns out Kotaku has learned Blizzard originally planned to tease Diablo 4, but it pulled the plans at the last minute.
Why?
What? The original plan for BlizzCon 2018, according to two people familiar with Blizzard's plans, was for Blizzard to announce the mobile game Immortal and then end on a video with the company co-founder telling the audience that a proper Diablo 4 was in development but not ready to show.
So literally what we were saying...
They should have done.
They should have done. They had the assets for... Because if they pulled it last minute, that sounds like they had everything. They should have just gone, oh, people are reacting poorly. Quick, put it out, put it out, put it... Just put even the logo.
Yeah.
They
could have just gone...
Well, let me finish the article because I don't know what they...
You pause in ways that make it sound like...
I'm reading it by sentences. It's an article.
You pause... in ways that sound like you're done talking.
Instead, at last Friday's keynote, Blizzard revealed Diablo Immortal in a quiet, uncomfortable audience that ended the show. For the most of the weekend, fans raged online, expressing their anger on YouTube and various forums. There's a few reasons for the controversy, but the driving factor was the company's sole Diablo announcement was a game that appeared to be made for a very different audience than hardcore Diablo fans.
Yep.
The reactions could have been very different. Blizzard changed its BlizzCon plans for Diablo at some point in the last couple of weeks. Those people familiar with the going-ons at Blizzard said. One of those people told me that the Diablo team was not ready to commit to an announcement, as Diablo 4 has changed drastically over the last 4 years and may continue to change further. We've heard it's gone through at least 2 different iterations under different directors. Blizzard said that it did not immediately have a comment on this story. But on October 17th, 2 weeks before BlizzCon, Blizzard put out a blog post that essentially told fans that Diablo 4 is in the works. That's what I was reading about.
Oh, okay.
But would not be shown at the show. This is very exciting times. We're currently working on multiple teams working on different Diablo projects, and we can't wait to tell you all about them when the time is right. We know that many of you are hoping for and can say that good things good things are to come for those who wait, but evil things often take longer. Blizzard's still looking to assure fans that it's in development to launch 2012, and then it just kind of goes through what happened.
Regardless of changing it,
still a poor idea.
They could have done what Bethesda did, which they literally just showed the name.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't even have the name, just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have teams working on Diablo 4. That's it.
Yeah. And people would have gone crazy or just...
They would have. They would have,
right.
for sure. It would have saved it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can find us on Twitter at @ZonicalCandy, at Dan T Producer, and at Comicstorian.
Finger shotgun.
Finger bang.
You guys don't do that.
He
We'll see you guys
steals
next
my
time.
stuff so frequently.
My nipples are also amazing.
He's
That's
now
Dan right
Ben
there.
T. Comicstorian.
That's
I'm
Dan
Ben
right
T,
there.
Comicstorian.
And that's a wrap.